In this episode, we leave Margaret River and head all the way back towards Bustleton and then inland. And then after that, we then head all the way down to Albany.
G'day guys, welcome back to another episode. So where we left off last week, me and Sarah both came down with gastro. That was last night and we are still feeling super horrible, so excuse us if we are not our usual selves, really energetic, because we just can't even fake it right now. We're just feeling absolute dog shit. So anyway, we're still in the Heyscape Tiny cabin. This has been an absolute experience staying here. It really shows you that you don't actually need a massive house to live in. And what a pretty place this is. It's absolutely amazing. Sarah's cooking up some dinner.
Spaghetti bulk.
But with a bit of a twist. So we run a bit of zucchini through it. And Sarah's an absolute gun cook.
We're at Heyscape Tiny cabins. This one's the southwest cabin, so it's just west of Bustleton. They send you out the address just before you come to your stay, so it's sort of like a secret location. There's three cabins on site, and we're in the Joey cabin, which is out in the middle of a paddock. There's also cabins in the vineyard here, and I'm not sure what the other one is, we can't spot it. We're here tonight, and then we're going to head down to Albany, I think. Keep quarantining somewhere.
So I guess better give you a bit of a tour of this little house. So pretty much you've got one big living area here. Obviously you got the bed there with the beautiful view, and then Sarah's occupying the kitchen right now, cooking up an absolute storm. And then if you are two couples or if you're a small family, there is another bed up top there, but it does get very hot up there. It's 36 degrees today outside, so it's very hot. There you go, there's the shower, and you got a sink and basin there like you want at home, and then obviously you got your toilet. That's a composting toilet, which is pretty cool. I think they require a little bit less maintenance than your regular toilet, and also less plumbing, and eco-friendly. So pretty cool little spot, and we've been enjoying it so far here. Heyscape have been nice enough to put on a bottle of the local Chardonnay too, which we can't thank you enough.
Wines.
Yeah, Witcher Ridge wines. So yeah, anyway, so something that's really cool about this joint is about 2 hours time the kangaroos will come out into the paddock, and I don't know if I've ever seen as many kangaroos as I've seen in these paddocks. It's absolutely amazing how many come out, and we'll try to get a few shots of them for you. Literally the last couple days I've just been sitting in bed. They've provided a set of binocs, so you just get the knockers out, these buggers, and then you just sit out here and you pretty much just perv on the kangaroos, see what they're doing. Can't wait to show you that. So pretty specky stuff, guys. We're going to put the drone up in a minute and show you a bit more where we are.
So this is the tiny cabin from the outside. So pretty much the whole roof is a solar panel, and it's run off solar and batteries. We've got rainwater tank there, gas, and then it's got obviously the composting toilet, so it's super eco-friendly. I think if you're looking at doing glamping or like staying in one of those big like flash tents, this could be a good alternative. It's been that nice having a solid structure, but you're still in like the tiniest little cabin. It's so cute.
Look at this big bloody boomer. Sarah, do you want to explain what's happening here?
The poor girl is trying to run away from the big boomer, and every time she stops he keeps trying to do naughty things.
I think he just wants to have sex.
And she doesn't.
So yeah, she's just doing zigzags trying to get away from him, eh? Big buck of a boomer.
Poor little girl.
So fun though, just sitting out the window, looking at the kangaroo cheese.
So we've pretty much taken you outside. When I was talking about kangaroos before, it sort of triggered my memory, and yeah, I haven't spoken about the new lights that we've put on Percy the Prado yet. So little story, when we were driving home from the Nullarbor, we were driving at night, and it would have been nice to have a little bit more light. Even though I did have a little bit of light to start with, it would have been nice just to see a little bit further and spread a little bit better. So AuxBeam are a US based company, and they have sent us these lights. This is more of a first impression rather than a review. First of all, I've got to say I'm super impressed. So they've sent us 2 of these spotlights. The idea behind these spotlights is the LED chips spread the light, and also the lasers in the middle of the light actually act as a pencil beam. They go super far, and I'm happy with them. The harness that they come with is good too. Real easy to install, a lot easier than some of the brands that you get in Australia today. And with that, we're getting a lot more light and a lot more usable light too. So because we are towing, we can't brake up, and if we do see a roo, we can't brake that quickly. So if we can actually see them down the road and see obstacles down the road, it's going to help us a lot on the road. So these AuxBeam spotties are their new range. These are the 360 Pro Series model, and these are the 9-inch. They also come in a 7-inch size. We went the 9-inch because it fits the bar really nice, and also you get a few more LED chips in them, so you get a bit more lumens. I think these are cranking out about 36,000 lumens, so pretty impressive. And moving on to the headlights, so AuxBeam are a US based company, like I said before. They do make a LED headlight, and what we've done is we've converted all the lights on the front of Percy the Prado to LEDs, which is super handy too, not only to have the spotties for when you're high beaming, but also just to be driving around. You get that nice clean cut line across the road, and you can see a lot further. So we're running the F16 bulbs in Percy the Prado, and yeah, they're absolutely brilliant pieces of kit. It's a plug and play system, so all you have to do is work out what globes actually fit your car, and then they pretty much come to suit. You just plug and play, screw them into the headlight holster, and away you go. You've got LED headlights. You see a lot better than the old halogen ones, which sometimes look a bit like candles. So I suggest, if you guys are looking at doing long-term touring like we do, to invest in your lights, and it could save you a lot of money if you do miss an obstacle or a big roo. So with that being said, we're gonna go back in the tiny cabin and then wait for it to turn dark, and I'm gonna show you how far these lights actually shine. We're in a perfect situation here. We're looking out to a paddock, so I'm gonna turn them on and show you exactly how much light we actually get out of them. So
don't you say it, I can't hear it. I get defensive when I think you're calling me out, but I don't scream, I don't shout.
Good morning guys, we've just left the tiny cabins. We're starting to feel a little bit human, still feeling pretty crappy, but coming to life again. We've just come down to Canebrook Pool, which is a 10-minute drive from the tiny cabins, and we're going to go for a little swim. And it's already 31 degrees and it's 9:30. So we've just left Canebrook Pool and we're heading down to Gracetown Caravan Park. Since we left Contos and Carradale,
which was 2 days ago for reference,
there's actually been a huge fire, and pretty much all of that area, Hamlin Bay where we were with the stingrays, has all been evacuated. The fire is massive, and we've just been out of service, so we've come out of the tiny cabin and we've just gotten all these alerts, people checking to make sure we're not there anymore. And we're driving down, is this Bustle Highway?
Yeah,
Bustle Highway, and
heading towards the fire. But mind you, this fire, it looks like it's really close, but it's still about probably 80 k's away from us right now. But it literally looks like a volcano has erupted.
It's insane.
And if we had have been still at Contos, we would have been in serious strife, because there is one road in, one road out there, and the bush is just so thick. So even in them Carry forests where we're doing the that cinematic video in the forest there, that's all going to be burnt down.
What's heading that way?
Where me and Dave were doing that tandem kite surfing thing, that's all going to be burnt.
It's just heading that way.
It's crazy. It's freaking huge, this fire. It's actually insane. We'll try to get you a shot of it now as we're driving towards it, but yeah, it looks literally like Vesuvius. The volcano has erupted right in front of us.
Yeah, it's
and
so sad.
It's such an eye-opener, and it just shows you nature is boss. So you can't play with this sort of stuff. It's super dangerous, and we're just going to try our best to stay away from it and stay ahead of it. So yeah.
What are we doing? I don't know. What are we doing? I don't know. But if you're telling me that.
Good morning, guys. Today is an epic day. So we've come from Gracetown all the way to Peaceful Bay. This is a little, pretty much a coastal town, fishing orientated. It's super small and
Super peaceful.
yeah, super peaceful. And yeah, we can't wait to show you guys around this joint. So today we are going to take you on a bit of a four-wheel drive mission. We are heading out to Rame Head, which is one of the more scenic tracks that you can take out here. It weaves in and out of some beautiful bays, Freddy's Bay and stuff, so we're so keen to show you guys all of that.
Weather's pretty overcast. There's not much else to do.
Yeah, and it's really onshore, so we're going to make the most of today. Hopefully find a few crayfish, hopefully, and maybe even some abalone. So we're going to see how we go. No promises today, guys, but hopefully it's a good little adventure, and hopefully the four-wheel drive tracks are fun and not too easy. So let's get into it. I think Dave's already dropped my tyres. Who the hell does that? He's obviously waiting for me. Let's have a look. Yep, tyres look bagged out. So this is pretty much where we're staying. We're on Dave and Danny's friend's spare block in Peaceful Bay, so we didn't have to get a caravan park, even though there is one just down the road. So we just got the vans parked up. Super bushy little site here. Awesome little spot, and yeah, we're gonna hit the tracks today. Hopefully we don't get stuck. Max tracks are there just in case we get stuck, and obviously we got Dave and Danny, so they'll be able to pull us out, but tyres are already bagged out. We're running 15, so hopefully we don't get stuck, and let's get into today.
Can't find the words to say. Pack up, sleep. We're going away. I'm sorry we can't stay. I know you don't wanna, but hey, guess we're going on a holiday.
We've just come down the track from that lookout, and we actually went the wrong way, but it has taken us to the cutest little campsite ever. This one's called it's called Salmon Campsite, and just over the hill over there is a beautiful bay. It's absolutely amazing. We'll take some footage of what that looks like. It's honestly so raw down here. All of the tracks are just taking you to random different bays, everything just as pretty as each other. It's honestly so amazing. So we're going to take the next track and then see what else is down there.
I'll bring mine. Guess we're going on a holiday. I'll bring my friends. Your stars just sleep on.
So we've just come down onto the beach here. So Freddy's Bay is the one behind us here. Sarah's just broken the sin of turning your back on the ocean. She almost got taken out by a wave. But Ram Head is that next bay across, and Dave reckons if we drive all the way around, it'll be nice and protected in the bay. Such a shame about the weather today. Normally it's beautiful down here, but today you just can't control the weather. So we're gonna go have a crack, see if we can find a cray, maybe have a fish as well. So we'll see what we can do. And yeah, sorry about the weather.
Can't find the words to say. Pack up, sleep. We're going away. I'm sorry we can't stay. I know you don't wanna, but hey. Can't find the words to say. Pack up, sleep. We're going away. I'm sorry we can't stay. I know you don't wanna, but hey. Guess we're going on a holiday. I'll bring my. Guess we're going on a holiday. I'll bring my friends.
So unfortunately at this point here the sound drops out. Don't know if it was when we were uploading this video to YouTube or when we were exporting it off iMovie, but the fact is it's got no sound, so now I have to voice over because I don't have the stems. Anyway, I'm going to try to make it as entertaining as physically possible and yeah, keep you guys interested. So we were down the beach here, we're up at Rame Head. It was bloody howling a bloody gale, and just to give you a bit of context on what's happening right now as I'm doing this voiceover, it is Christmas Day. And yes, I am sitting down doing a bloody voiceover for the YouTube video. Anyway, a few little glitches in this video, so I'm actually thinking that it is YouTube or the exporting process, but it doesn't matter now, it is done. So me and Dave decided that we're going to try to get some crayfish and just duck out into this little bay. It's really protected. Normally it is really sharky down at Peaceful Bay, and it is notorious for great white sharks, so we thought we'd just duck into some shallow water and try to get some crays. And we also found some abalone. Dave's pretty good at getting them, puts his whole body in the cave, so we got a few there, and then we decided to head back towards Peaceful Bay. Doesn't do it much justice on the camera, but it is quite technical, and it is a lot steeper when you're in the car. So we head back and we decide to find some nice little four-wheel drive tracks / sand dunes to climb. The Prado isn't necessarily the best sand dune car. It is pretty heavy because it is a tourer, but I reckon with the iDrive throttle controller it does help a lot in these situations. We got up really easily, didn't have to floor it too much, but I think Dave and Danny had a little bit of trouble here. Definitely have a little bit of trouble there. Dave's very embarrassed, as you can see. Danny's embarrassed that Dave's her partner and can't get up the hill, and they go back down for another try. So oh yeah, really like Keelan and Sarah's videos, and yeah, you should really subscribe. Haha.
So at this point here, we got back to the caravan that was parked up at Dave and Danny's mate Brody's spare block in Peaceful Bay, and we were shattered. I think it was the wind that took it out of us the most this day. It seems like the windier it is, the more tired it makes you. And yeah, pulling Dave out of the bog all day definitely tires you out as well. So at this point here, we decide to go see how Dave and Danny are going with the abalone shucking. So no one in the whole camp had shucked an abalone before, and apparently the smaller they are, the harder they are to shuck. So we did get rowies, they're called rowie abalone, and yeah, we had no idea how to do it. So I think Dave and Danny relied heavily on Google and YouTube for this one. So she worked out how to do it, but all the examples of shucking were with big green lip abalone, which actually get about 3 times even bigger the size of this rowie. So yeah, we didn't realize, but I think this outer bit is the intestine, and it does prove to be a bit chewy and tough when you cook it, so you're meant to remove that. We're not 100% sure. Anyway, I think Dave and Danny did a great job shucking the abalone because it tasted absolute treat. And coming up here, we actually get a taste of it, and yeah, it's surprising actually what it tastes like. So we were pretty happy with it, but it is a lot of work. You see a lot of people trying to get them, and to shuck them, cook them, it is a lot of work for such a little amount of flesh. I'd rather just go catch a fish and fillet that up. You get a lot more out of it, but each their own. It does taste a lot like a scallop. But yeah, I think this next scene here, I think Danny's finished cooking the abalone. She fried them up on our kitchen, which they're using a lot for the air fryer, just having big battery power. They don't necessarily have the biggest inverter, so they can't run the air fryer, but we cooked these up on the pan, and Sarah's about to have a try of her first ever abalone. So she's being very particular which one she's picking, obviously picking the one without the flabby intestine bits hanging off it, but she tries it, and I'll narrate what comes out of her mouth. Tastes like chicken, she says. Pretty accurate account. I think we all said it tastes a bit like chicken. Like I said before, for a lot of work out there getting them off the rocks, there wasn't much in return. So me and Dave tried to make this cinematic shot. I don't know much to say about that. And the next day we head out to a spot called Conspicuous Cliff. So Sarah's just giving you a bit of rundown on the area and what you can do out here. So it is a really beautiful spot. Definitely recommend going out to Conspicuous Cliff. It's off Picafolia Road or something like that. Ficafolia Road. And yeah, it's only a 10-minute drive out of Peaceful, and it's absolutely beautiful. There's a couple tracks around here. Sarah's pointing out the Bibliman markers. So this track actually goes from down near Albany all the way up to past Perth, I believe. And she says that it's actually 1,000 k's in length. That's a hell of a hike. I don't know if we'd ever do a hike that big. Anyway, we picked this nice little easy hike up to this vantage point that overlooks Conspicuous Cliffs and the bay. So walking out to this point, out to the left-hand side, there is a headland out there. And there are some very notorious waves in the big wave surfing scene out in Peaceful Bay. I'm not going to tell you exactly where they are, but they are around this area. This bay seems to cop a lot of weather, and the swell was actually quite small this day, and the waves were huge. So yeah, where I'm pointing up there now is actually where Dave and Danny were. So they hiked up the bib track all the way up to the top of Conspicuous Cliffs. And we're not big on hiking, so we're actually quite lazy people, and we thought this was a pretty good view, and we thought at this point this will do us. But a bit of a negotiation from Dave and Danny. We actually flung them a text message, and they said it's definitely worth it. So they sort of twisted our rubber arm and made us do this 4K hike. Not to mention, this hike is literally straight up. There's no flat sections apart from that beach walk, and everyone knows what it's like to walk on soft sand. So it was pretty gnarly, and I wouldn't say it's for the faint-hearted, but once you get started, it's not too bad, and the view is definitely worth it. Like I'm saying, I'm pointing out Dave and Danny right at the top there. This one is their favourite hike, and they've done all of WA this year. Dave and Danny have been on the road for a year now, and they've done a fair few hikes because they are fitness fanatics. And yeah, if they're saying this hike is their favourite, it definitely is quite special to them. So here we go. There's a little river mouth that goes out near Conspicuous Cliffs too. It's a really nice walk.
Sarah's just saying how lazy we are and how much we're looking forward to this steep incline hike, not to mention this soft beach walk. So anyway, we start the trek, and yeah, we'll see you at the top. Like I said, guys, we are really sorry about having to put a voiceover in. This point, I'm actually pointing out how hot the walk was. It was super muggy, and we were amazed at how much Australian fauna there was out in this track. So we were running into a lot of wildflowers, a lot of banksias like you can see there, a lot of grass trees. Pretty much it's just a walk down the Australian fauna lane, and yeah, definitely recommend doing it. It is quite cool looking at all the trees and stuff that have been there for hundreds of years. Grass trees in particular grow super slow, and to see them that big and large as you're walking through these on the bib track is quite amazing to see. So this point here, I'm actually talking a bit more about another Australian plant. This is actually called the peppermint tree. This is a small shrub, but pretty much you can pick off these leaves here, rub them between your hands, and they actually act as like a deodorizer. So they do have a very pungent smell, smells like peppermint. And if you didn't have soap, you could rub this on your pits, have a shower with it. Heck, I reckon you could almost brush your teeth with it, but don't do that. Obviously, it might be poisonous. I'm not an expert in this field, but I know a few things. So I was saying that this tree actually acts as some natural Vicks too. So if you've got a cold, rub some together and then inhale through your nose, and it'll actually clear up your sinuses pretty much instantly. So at this point here, we got to the top. We met Dave and Danny up there. They actually did a secondary hike while they were waiting for us. I know, fitness fanatics, but here we are right at the top, and what a view that is. It's absolutely spectacular, and the camera definitely doesn't do this joint justice. It would have been so much nicer if the clouds weren't there and if it was a sunny day. So here I make a little cinematic reel of us all at the top of this cliff. Absolute epic views. So the next day we actually towed Keith the Urban down to the beach at Peaceful Bay there. Not many caravans actually get on this beach because it can be really soft sometimes of the year. Anyway, we filmed our walk around that day, so if you do want to go check that one out, we have just posted it. Pretty specky van, and we're absolutely thrilled with it. So at this point here, we're actually signing off. This is the end of the episode. I think Sarah's saying something like, Keelan, you're amazing. I love you so much, or something like that. And I'm saying, yeah, I know I'm amazing. And now we're saying pretty much got 10% off iTech World, and you've got to get it while it's hot or something like that. And also plugging a few other things like we do at the end of our videos.
Speaking of iTech World, currently it's Christmas Day, so tomorrow is Boxing Day, and they're having a massive sale. If you guys use our code SKT10, you'll get a further discount on what they're already discounting their prices at. So if you want to get anything super dirt cheap, then tomorrow's your day. I can tell you right now, lithium batteries won't be cheaper in the foreseeable future. So I'm pretty sure if you use our code, you can get a 120 amp hour lithium battery for only $881. So our code is SKT10. And yeah, I'm just giving you the heads up that if you're waiting for the right time to buy, it would probably be now. So definitely wait till tomorrow. Don't buy it today. And yeah, enjoy the savings. So without flapping the gums too much more, I'll sign off now. Like I said, sorry about the voiceover. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if we don't speak to you again before then. And thank you so much for all the support. Me and Sarah are absolutely thrilled with how much support we get, and with situations like this, it sucks, but we know that our people watching our videos are good people, and they'll continue to watch them regardless if it's a voiceover or not. So anyway, this is us signing out. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. See you in the next one. You.